Hi, this is Dr. Martha Lucas, and you are listening to my podcast, 10 Minutes of TCM Training, the show that helps you build your practice 10 minutes at a time. And for you patients of acupuncturists or Chinese medicine practitioners out there, or someone who is just curious about acupuncture and Chinese medicine, I will be explaining how acupuncture works in each one of the episodes of this podcast, 10 Minutes of TCM Training. I am here to share my Chinese medicine knowledge because Chinese medicine is a medicine, not a mystery. Let me repeat that. Chinese medicine is a medicine, not a mystery. It is a complete system of medicine that treats internal medicine and mental emotional issues, not just pain. Granted, it is mostly known for treating pain, but there is so much more, and this podcast will help you learn about all of that. Today, I'm going to be talking about several different kinds of special points. I'm going to be talking about what are called intersection points, some special points that aren't really in any particular class or category, and what are called ghost points. So first, let's do the intersection points. The intersection points are Ren 3 or conception vessel 3, and it intersects the Ren channel and the 3 yin of leg channel. Ren 4 intersects Ren and also 3 yin of the leg channels. Ren 12 intersects the Ren channel, the stomach channel, the Sanjiao or triple warmer channel, and the lung channel. Now, what this means is that when needling this one particular point that I mentioned, you access energies of other channels. I love points like that, where one point accesses several different channels. So that's what is meant by these points being called intersection points. For example, I love Do 20. It pretty much accesses all of the yang meridians. So what could be cooler than that? One point, that's why I call Do 20 in my own practice. And I tell my students, I call it a micromanager of yang because it accesses or intersects with all the yang meridians. Do 16 intersects with the bladder and yang wei channels. Do 14 all can access all of the yang channels. Lung 1 intersects the lung channel with the spleen channel. Large intestine 20 intersects the large intestine channel with the stomach channel. Gallbladder 20 intersects with Sanjiao or triple warmer, yang wei and yang chao, 2 extra channels. Liver 13 intersects the liver and the gallbladder channels. Liver 14 not only accesses liver energy, of course, but also spleen and one of the extraordinaries called yin wei. And then there's Ren 17, Renmai, small intestine, Sanjiao or triple warmer, spleen, kidney, and lung. So very, very important in terms of accessing more than one channel's energy. Then we have these, what are called special points, not in any classical category. And what are those all about? Well, for example, Ren 6 is called the Sea of Qi. Sea of Qi, source Qi, and it rescues yang. So we don't have a category for those, but those are 3 very important functions of Ren 6. Sea of Qi, source Qi, and rescue of yang. Ren 8, the navel, source Qi and rescue yang. Now, we don't typically needle the navel, but we can needle very near it, or we can put moxa energy heat in there, not in there, on there, above there. Sometimes people put a piece of ginger with some salt and then a little moxa. I frankly like to needle as close as I can to it to take out our original stagnation, because when we're born and we have our attachment to our mother, and then that gets cut, that is our first stagnation. And so actually Ren 8 does need some treatment. And if you're a practitioner and you want to contact me about that, feel free to, and my contact information will be at the end of the podcast. Bladder 52 treats low back and is also for kidney tonification. Bladder 43, severe lung disorders and general deficiency. And then Do 15 is actually called muteness gait. It's an interesting function. And then we have the ghost points. Now, the ghost points are interesting in that they are known to treat mainly mental conditions. So it's kind of severe ones, they say, but you can also use them to treat anxiety and depression and longstanding emotional trauma. So the ghost points are generally thought to help with longstanding trauma that has been difficult to overcome. And they're very wonderful. They give the patient a feeling of emotional and psychological welfare and create a sense of peace and help center the patient. So what are they? All right, stomach 6. This is one of the really good points for post-traumatic stress disorder. For one thing, if you know anyone who is anxious or you're anxious yourself, a lot of people tend to clench their jaw or even at night, grind their teeth and clench at night, even when they're sleeping. And stomach 6 acts as an actual jaw relaxer, as well as being a ghost point to treat emotions. Bladder 62. Now, this is used for some childhood trauma that leads to anxiety or depression in an adult. Lung 11 helps balance the digestive system because we need to digest our emotions physically as well as emotionally. And this is a good point for, large intestine 11. It's a good point for also people who have things like IBS. So large intestine 11, treat the digestive system and help with IBS, which lots of times people with PTSD have digestive problems. So then we'll go to lung 11 is a ghost point that this is for, it helps resolve anger. It helps the person feel better after some really angry situation that they've been in. That's lung 11. Spleen 1, now spleen 1, you can bleed that point. It's down on the foot. And this would be someone whose emotional issues have led to them having a poor body image, and they eat their feelings instead of being able to express their feelings. Pericardium 8, this would be for somebody with a complete loss of sense of self. So someone who's manic or having hallucinations. So for, as I said, for some more severe emotional issues. Do 16, this can be, we need to be careful with this point, but it's a point for people who are feeling inflexible. Yin Tong, which is an extra point, is this point can be used, it's around the third eye. So learning how to speak to yourself, learning how to enlighten yourself and seek knowledge and seek wisdom. Ren 24, this is a great point for people who are always worried and never can smile. So again, Ren 24, great point to help people release things so they will smile more. Pericardium 8. Again, this point is people who've lost a sense of self, but Pericardium 7 is also a ghost point. And the pericardium is the protector of the heart. So if someone's particularly heartbroken, Pericardium 7 is a nice point. I very often these days, if I'm trying to help a person with emotional issues, I used to go right to the heart channel, but now I go more to the pericardium channel because it is the heart protector. And so open that first, and it'll actually help you protect your patient's hearts also if you start with the pericardium channel. So I hope you enjoyed those. Thank you for listening to this episode of 10 Minutes of TCM Training. Again, I'm Dr. Martha Lucas, and if you want to learn more about the topic I discussed today, you can visit lucasteachings.com for practitioners. That's my training site, lucasteachings.com. And for the general public who are interested in having better health, you may check out my website, acupuncturewoman.com, or you may also email me at drmlucas@acupuncturewoman.com. That's drmlucas@acupuncturewoman.com. Take care, and if you can, take care of someone else too.